Shannon Sharpe is having the worst year of his life. He's been fired from ESPN. He paid a settlement to a woman who accused him of rape. He's now being sued for $20 million by a woman from Chicago over comments he made on his podcast. And to top it all off, just yesterday he stood on stage to introduce his brother at the Pro Football Hall of Fame ceremony. This story isn't just messy, it's the collapse of a media empire in real time. Let's break it all down. Shannon Sharpe isn't just a TV personality. He's a Hall of Fame tight end, former co-host of Undisputed, host of Club Shay, and until recently, a key figure at ESPN's First Take. Known for his bold personality, viral debates, and unfiltered commentary, Shannon has carved out a second career that some would argue was even more successful than his football days. But in 2025, everything fell apart fast. In April 2025, a woman filed a $50 million lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, alleging rape, sexual battery, and emotional distress. According to the legal filing, the woman claimed that their relationship turned abusive and coercive, with allegations of forced intimacy and emotional manipulation. The details in the court document were disturbing and graphic, drawing immediate media attention. Sharpe's team issued a strong denial, calling the claims baseless and part of a larger extortion attempt. Yet within weeks, news broke that Sharpe had offered a $10 million settlement, and by July, the case had been quietly resolved outside of court. No criminal charges were filed, and the public never saw the full scope of the evidence, but the damage was done. For many fans and brands, the stain was permanent, and ESPN wasn't waiting around to see how things played out. Now, not long after the settlement, ESPN made its move. Shannon was quietly let go, ending what had been a high-profile run on First Take alongside Stephen A. Smith. He had joined the network less than a year prior, riding high off the success of Club Shay and his viral internet moments. His segments consistently pulled strong viewership, and his chemistry with Stephen A. Smith had people tuning in religiously. There was no dramatic on-air goodbye, no farewell speech, just silence, and then the headlines. Later, Shannon opened up on his podcast, and he actually asked ESPN to delay the announcement until after August 2nd. He was worried about overshadowing Sterling's big moment, but that courtesy never came. The news dropped early, and the focus shifted from Sterling's legacy to Shannon's unraveling. And just when you think things couldn't get any worse, another lawsuit landed. This time from Chicago. Jimalita Tillman, an arts executive and respected community leader, filed a $20 million defamation lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, Chad Ochocinco Johnson, and their company, Shay Media. The reason? A viral conversation from the Nightcap podcast on April 12th, 2025. In that episode, Shannon referred to a woman who had gone viral at an Usher concert, implying she was married, going through a divorce, and her behavior at the show had caused a scandal in her personal life. Tillman says she was that woman, and none of what Shannon said was true. Check this clip out.
I'm single, not married, not going through a divorce, but it was just a fan participation moment.
Of the lawsuit originally filed in Cook County Circuit Court on April 24th, just 4 days after another lawsuit was filed against Shannon Sharpe, accusing him of sexual assault, a case he has since settled. Now, Jimalita Tillman's suit has moved to federal court in Chicago, where she's suing for libel and defamation. In the lawsuit, Tillman claims that on April 12th, Sharpe and co-host Chad Ochocinco Johnson recorded an episode of their podcast Nightcap where they falsely claimed she was married and going through a divorce after her viral appearance at the Usher concert, implying that she played a role in the breakup. But according to Tillman, she was neither married nor in a relationship at the time. A screen grab shows the YouTube episode has since been set to private. Tillman says she tried to contact the podcast host and their company directly to correct the record, but received no acknowledgement or retraction. She says it's impacted her life as the director of the Harold Washington Cultural Center and a homeschool advocate.
Just throwing the word allegedly in does not get it done. Do the due diligence. That's what you have producers for and researchers for. Don't be so quick to chase the popular culture story. And I think that there needs to be changes at a federal level that is regulating these streamers, these podcasters, and all of these people that are calling themselves news media outlets that are monetizing false information that most people may not have the courage to stand up for themselves. And I say no more. before.
While some wrote this moment off as a joke, Tillman clearly didn't, and neither did the court. Now, here's where things really get surreal. Despite all of this, the lawsuit, the firing, the negative press, Shannon Sharpe stood on stage yesterday to introduce his brother, Sterling Sharpe, at the Pro Football Hall of Fame ceremony. It was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Sterling, a former Packers legend, waited decades for this recognition. It should have been his moment alone, his time in the spotlight. Instead, Shannon's legal chaos threatened to overshadow the entire event. And the worst part, Shannon knew it. On his podcast, he admitted he asked ESPN to delay the announcement until Monday. But the headlines had already taken the stage.
Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really, the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me. And I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do. And I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So
this isn't just a bad PR week. It's a total unraveling. In the span of just a few months, Shannon Sharpe has gone from one of the most in-demand sports media personalities in the world to unemployed and facing multiple lawsuits, with more headlines about lawyers than locker rooms. And while some fans are calling it karma, others say this man may be taken down by the same media machine that helped build him. Either way, it's hard to see how he comes back from this, unless somehow he takes full accountability, clears his name, and starts from scratch. So what do you think? Is this the end of Shannon Sharpe's media career? Should he have been on stage for the Hall of Fame ceremony yesterday? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.